everybody. Time once again for your Big South Network guide for the week of the 11th through 17th of November, and we are loaded down with good stuff to watch this week. You will be glad you tuned in to the Big South Network at BigSouthSports.com. Big South Network presented by State Farm. I'm Mark Bryant, Director of Multimedia Development for the Big South Conference. Very proud to bring you all the sights and sounds of action across the conference, and do that through our various online sites and services. Of course, if you want to contact me, you can do so, markb at bigsouth.org. But let's jump right into the action and talk about football first. We've got two streaming games on Saturday the 13th, and that's Gardner-Webb at Stony Brook, 1 o'clock kick, and PC at Charleston Southern at 1:30. Another game available online, but not on the Big South Network list, Liberty at Coastal Carolina, an ESPN3.com game. Just throw that one out there because it will be pivotal in the conference race. Remind you how things are shaping up in football here in the home stretch. 3 teams still eligible for the title and that automatic berth to the FCS playoffs. Stony Brook 4-0 in conference, trying to hold serve against Gardner-Webb here. Liberty, like Stony Brook, 4-0 in conference. They'll be at Coastal Carolina. Liberty and Stony Brook trying to set up an undefeated showdown on the 20th in the final week. Coastal trying to be the Tim Brando fly in the ointment, the spoiler here, and they can still sneak away with this title even though they have a loss, because they can upend Liberty, and then if Liberty defeats Stony Brook, all 3 would have 1 loss, and we'd have a 3-way tie, and then that would have to be sorted out. So there are plenty of things to discuss in football, but we've got to play the games first. So keep an eye out for that Liberty Coastal game. I'll actually be doing the play-by-play for that one at ESPN3.com, so a lot of fun coming to you from Conway. And again, the 20th, 4 games streaming. Our full slate will be streaming for you on the 20th, so look for that. Let's get off of football and move on to men's soccer, because that season is ending this week in a big way with the championship tournament, of course, from High Point. Now, High Point, the Panthers, the top seed, undefeated in conference play, and hosting the tournament. Things look pretty well set up for them, one might say, but don't forget about that bunch of teams fighting for that had fought for that second, third seed. Coastal Carolina, Gardner-Webb, Liberty, they're all right behind there. So they could give High Point a bit of a run. It's single elimination, anything can happen. Of course, one does have to like the Panthers' chances. A lot of good goal scorers on that club, but we'll see. Quarterfinals are Thursday, semifinals are Friday, and the championship final game, 2 o'clock on Sunday the 14th. All these are available by the day or all together as a package for the Big South Network, presented by State Farm. And that'll conclude men's soccer. Volleyball is wrapping up. Of course, we already finished women's soccer, and congratulations to High Point. A bicycle kick golden goal wins the women's soccer championship for High Point. Amazing stuff. A great event that Radford hosted. We congratulate them. We move on to volleyball because we've got our final regular season matches, and here's the standings in volleyball. Liberty 13-2 coming into this week's games. High Point 12-3, so 1 game back. Asheville 11-4, 2 games back of first, 1 game back of second. You see these teams boxcars 1, 2, 3. Friday, Gardner-Webb's at Charleston Southern. Doesn't impact those top 3 seeds, but Saturday we've got some interesting matches. Saturday, Gardner-Webb at Winthrop, then Asheville at Liberty. Got to go in the Vine Center if Asheville is going to keep this streak alive. 6 conference wins in a row, 7 overall wins in a row. The Bulldogs have been rolling with some great senior leadership from Benorden and Miller, Gannon, and they have really been getting it done. But Liberty has a great history in this sport, so we shall see how that shakes out. Should be quite the match. That will be at 2 o'clock on Saturday, and not to be overlooked, High Point also in action. They're right in the middle of that mix, and they are hosting Coastal Carolina at the same time. So those matches will be very much on the minds of each other as they sort out the end of the regular season. The tournament will be next week. We'll have that for you, the Big South Network, when we discuss what we've got for you in a week's time. My goodness, so many things going on. We haven't even gotten to hoops yet, and we've got so much on the basketball slate to open the season. 11 men's games, 14 women's games. That's right, 25 basketball games on top of the 4 volleyball matches and the 2 football games, and all 7 games of the men's soccer championship. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's a big week for the Big South Network. So let's run through your basketball lineup as quickly as we can, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Friday the 12th, Virginia Intermont at Liberty. That's a 7 o'clock start. Randolph at VMI, and we've got Piedmont at Coastal Carolina. And those are the 3 men's games for Friday night. And Saturday, all of 5 across the Big South, with Emory and Henry at Radford, Queens at Winthrop, LaGrange at Coastal Carolina, Mary Washington at Gardner-Webb. Everyone's getting, you see a lot of small schools here as the Big South schools get tuned up for the season. Also Ferrum at High Point. Beyond Saturday into Sunday, the 14th, Methodist at Radford. And then Tuesday, a pair of games for you on the men's schedule with Virginia Wise at VMI and crosstown rivalry, the Citadel at Charleston Southern. So let's flip that and look at the women's side, because we've got a bunch there as well, as we said, starting on Friday the 12th. And you've got Southern Virginia at Coastal Carolina and VCU at High Point. That should be a good one there, certainly. 7 o'clock tip. Belmont at Winthrop. And then on to Saturday, Montreat at UNC Asheville. So many games, trying to find them all. Erskine at Charleston Southern. And here we go into Sunday, another pair of women's games for you with a to be announced. It'll either be Central Michigan or North Carolina A&T against Winthrop in their little tournament there. And American at High Point. And that's your Sunday lineup. Monday, still more. And Monday, believe it or not, we've got a couple familiar foes already. We've heard their names a couple times. Montreat at Gardner-Webb. Ferrum at Radford. As you see, some of these teams are kind of taking the tour. Southern Virginia's another one. We'll see them again in just a second. I do believe, yep, they're in there. Tuesday, the 16th. It begins at 11:30 a.m. Morning basketball. Erskine at Presbyterian College with that one. It goes on with Voorhees against Charleston Southern, and Southern Virginia at High Point, Virginia Union at Liberty, and then the women's slate concludes with Wednesday with the old Parkway rivalry, Parkway series, Western Carolina at UNC Asheville, 7 o'clock on the 17th. Let's all take a deep breath. That's because that is the 38 offered live events this week. That's a full week. Remember, you can order any of these by the game, by the sport, by the season, by the year. We have lots of packages available to suit your taste. Those basketball season passes are available now. Go get those so you don't miss any of the action in Big South Hoops. Should be a great year ahead. Really looking forward to it. Find everything at BigSouthSports.com, the Big South Network, as well as our links to our Twitter, our YouTube, our Facebook, our blog. All those things can be found there, BigSouthSports.com. As for the streaming, if you have any technical issues, just a reminder, you can call New Lion, our web and streaming host, at 877-967-3267. Again, that's 877-967-3267. Or email them, and sometimes email may be more efficient if there's a large number of requests coming in. Otherwise, you'd be, if there's a phone queue, anything like that. Fan support at newlion.com, N-E-U-L-I-O-N, newlion, N-E-U-L-I-O-N.com. Fan support at newlion.com. I'll be sure to specify billing, tech support, anything like that. With basketball season just cranking up, there'll be some folks new to the system. There'll be some folks who may have forgotten some things. So by all means, if you have any questions, you have any issues you run into, these are the folks to contact. They have your account information, and they know how to troubleshoot technical problems. They'll get everything sorted out. So enjoy the games. It's a full week. Soccer, basketball, volleyball, football. Great days in the Big South. Enjoy those. We'll talk to you again next week.